We're underway from Deektown. Kept alive, reset by the Deeks. Charles blocked. Baker can't be handled, and it's down for Olivia Fish. And 1-0 Wake. Florida State had some issues early on in the season as the jump serve goes in the air on the serve receive. Jaskovitz taken. Farrell, the bump set. The left side, that shot goes long. Brava Carney, and side out for Florida State. Florida State having some issues in the early season on the serve receive, but that's something I feel like they've gotten figured out over their last two contests. Florida State coming in, winning 3 in a row to push their season above 500. As that serve goes long. Just underway, glad to have you. Mercy Arena, campus of Wake Forest. Carney back to serve. In the air, tight serve up on the net. This ball hammered down and good. Gary Roby, her first kill of the afternoon. And early substitutions as Manny Snyder checks out. And back behind the service line, Kenna Phelan. Quick check at the bench. Back to zone 1, can't be handled. And it'll be an ace for Phelan. Florida State on Friday over Virginia Tech, able to collect 7 aces. As her serve goes back in the air, handled by Farrell. Taken over the left side, blocked, and recycled here into the middle for Charles. Doesn't go, back to Roby. First shot cleaned up by Farrell. Off the hands and down for Wake. 171 came out on Friday in the contest against Miami for the Deeks. And a good crowd here this Sunday afternoon as Farrell goes behind the service line. Lavero already 178 digs on the season. Picked up in the back row. Golinara's shot doesn't go. Sent back in the net. Point Deeks. Ryan Baker 1 assist away for 1,000 for her career. Tight set, Phelan. Farrell able to give him the free ball into the Wake block. Farrell the bump set. Over to Fish, that shot down. Paige Crawford. Off the Emma Farrell bump set. And Wake's scoring run moves to 3. Early here on the campus of Wake Forest, glad to have you with us. Both these teams 1-0 in the ACC Conference. 3 ball. Baker down. There it is, 1,000. Career assist for Ryan Baker. And that's got to feel good. Farrell serve in the air. Quick shot there by Carrie Roby, the transfer from Oregon. Someone who did not play high school volleyball until her senior year. Led Oregon in blocks last year. Hitting .407 on the season is Roby, one of the standouts for this Wake Forest team. Skone goes behind the service line. Into the back and down. right along that back line. Koenig, and it's a service ace to make it a 6-5 Wake Forest lead. Baker down for Crawford. Strong hit there as she turned the wrist. Takes it across court. But right now, the Deacons in system on that serve receive. Baker to Crawford. And it's 7-5. Torrance serve in the air. Baker out of the back row, strong hit, but picked up by the Seminoles. Crawford sends it back. Phelan, cross court and in. For Skyx, the outside hitter from Sarasota, Florida. Cross court shot is down and in. And Roby goes back behind the service line for Florida State. Baker the touch and down. Crafty uses her vision. Finds an open spot on the floor and able to dump that pass. Paige Crawford, 500th career kill registered on Friday night against Miami in the win. Out of system. And the dump pass. Ava Carney trying to get it down the line. Goes long, and it's a side out for Florida State. First set just underway, 8-7. Wake Forest. Carrie Roby already with 2 kills for the Seminoles. 3 for Ryan Baker for Wake Forest. Leskovitz serve in the air, picked up. Baker over to Carney, blocked. Farrell. And going to be 4 touches on the Deeks. And we're squared back up at 8. Both these teams winning on Friday to go 1-0 in the ACC Conference. Wake Forest used that win to improve to 10-2 overall on the season. Draskovic serves in the air and down, an ace for Draskovic. Already 19 aces on the season. Go along with 261 assists for the graduate setter. Back row again. Picked up on the Deeks. Count it. Carney. Wake Forest to get the side out. Substitutions now as Dior Charles checks back into the contest. Emil Gogar behind the service line. Tied up at 9. Early goings here on the campus of Wake Forest Varsity Arena. Service long and service error. As Philamara on the service line. Farrell bumps it ahead. Carney's shot. Bump set. Picked up in the back row by Crawford. Out of the back row, her shot. Did it catch fingers? No. Wake Forest looking for a touch, but that shot goes long. And the Seminoles will retain the serve as they still continue to file into Varsity Arena. Glad to have you with us. Baker, Charles, shot blocked. Audrey Koenig right there for the stuff. 12-9 here in the first set. Into the net, a break for Wake Forest. On the errant set that went long. Florida State looking to just dump it over the net there, but they were into the net. As a little discussion with Chris Poole, the head coach, in his 16th year at Florida State. Overall record of 352 and 122. Good for a winning percentage of 74% of his contests, as he wants to have some words with the official. They're going to go over and talk about this. The net violation. Chris Poole's team has been inconsistent, but they're finding their legs here of late. They come into tonight's contest winning 2 in a row. Florida State, or excuse me, a North Florida win, and then a Virginia Tech win to open conference play. This is a squad that was picked to finish 4th in the 2023 preseason coaches poll here in the ACC. Louisville garnered the most votes, Pittsburgh, Miami, and then Florida State. But at times, Seminoles team has struggled on the serve receive and getting into system, whereas the Demon Deacons have used the non-conference schedule to their advantage, rolling out to a 10-2 start. And their best start since 2019. After conference, play will stand, net violation, and Wake gets the side out. Quick shot down and good for Corey Lewis. One of the 2023 preseason volleyball all ACC picks. And that quick set to Corey is down and good. Free ball. Farrell, Baker, Charles shot. Snyder sends it across into the Wake block, but out, and the tool shot is good for the Seminoles. Short serve, Baker. Tipped up and down. And a block for the Deacons. Excuse me, for Florida State. As Roby's there. And we have a timeout on the floor as the Seminoles take 2 quick points. And they lead this one here in set 1, 15-10. 2 kills for Gary Roby so far. Andre Koning also with a kill, 7 assists. Look at the stat line for the Deeks right now. 3 kills for Ryan Baker, 2 for Paige Crawford. Olivia Fish and Emmy Ogogar each have 1. So far, Florida State hitting $167 compared to just 0.45 for the Deeks. And it's been the Florida State block. And it's given the Deacons some fits here on the last 3 points as they've been able to open this up to a 15-10 lead. Going back to the early schedule for Wake Forest, they rolled off 6 wins in a row before a 5-set loss to Kennesaw State and then a loss to Western Michigan. But since then, it's been 4 in a row, including that win Friday over Miami. And they're looking to make it 6 against the Seminoles this afternoon. Again, glad to have you with us. University Arena on the ACC Network Extra. Wake Forest timeout. Randy Smart talking to her team about how to maybe work around this Seminoles block. Laganoa's serve in the air, and it'll be an ace. Well, Laganoa coming in, only 2 aces on the season. Hasn't seen a lot of action, only 21 sets played. But gets the call as the libero tonight for the Deacons. Baker's shot tipped over. Farrell over to Baker. Shot blocked again at the net. Fish's shot. Stop. Snyder's tip over, handled by Farrell. Somehow kept alive at the net. And a free ball to the Deeks. Kept alive again. Nice dig in the back row. Baker to Charles. That'll finally find the floor. Dior Charles able to hammer one down on a long rally for the side out to make it a 5-point game. Couldn't handle it. Here's Olivia's Fish as that shot tipped over. And substitutions for both teams. Willock will check in for the Deacons as Kanafilan will go behind the service line for the Seminoles. They lead this contest 17-11 here in set number 1. Farrell picks it up on the back row. Fish's shot down. Olivia Fish. Perfect time for a side out. And she's able to hit it off the Florida State block and down. Keep this contest within range, but we're getting late here in set 1. Back to zone 1. Quick set and down. Kari Roby. Already 99 kills on the season for her. Coming into tonight's contest, a .407 hitting percentage. Somebody the Deacons need to cover up on the front line. Koenig serve long. And a service error. And the Deacons will get the ball back. As Torrance will check in and she'll go back to serve. Big crowd has turned out to cheer on their Deacons. They're in Varsity Arena this afternoon. Torrance served. Farrell. Baker off the hands. And recycled by the Seminoles. Baker again, over to Crawford. And down. Paige Crawford. Her 3rd kill of the contest. And Wake Forest back within 4. And Chris Poole wants a timeout. Mentioned the hot start for the Deacons. Flip the page over to Florida State. Got off to a little bit of a rough start. They started 3-0, but then a loss to SMU, a loss to Auburn, a loss to Central Florida, and then a heartbreaking defeat at home to Florida, a very good SEC program. They lost in the 5th set. And you wonder if that trickled over because that followed up by losses to TCU and Hawaii before finally getting back in the win column last week against North Florida and then Friday against Virginia Tech. So 7-6 overall record for a team that was picked to finish 4th in the ACC. But talking to Coach Poole, he's talked about this team starting to find a rhythm. Virginia Tech playing better in the serve-receive game. Also chipping in some aces You look at the ACC statistics right now, Florida State comes in ranked number 1 in assists per set at 13.3 and hitting percentage at .331. So there's some positives for Florida State. It's been some of the breakdowns in system. They've had some issues with teams that have played well against the block. As for the Demon Deacons, they come in to conference play compared against their ACC foes. They come in ranked 3rd in team assists as Torrance is back behind the service line. Trying to get the Deacons back in this one, down 4 here in the first set. And the Seminoles waste no time putting that ball in the hands. Gary Roby, and the quick set leaves a flat spot on the floor as that spike able to hit the hardwood. She'll go back into the net. Another mistake. And it's back to a 4-point game. Crawford does have 10 aces on the season. She looks over the bench. As she's in the serve receive. Free ball to the Deacons. Charles' shot stopped. Carney's shot blocked but long. Good looking swing there by Carney, but it goes out. Florida State goes up by 5, 20-15. As Draskovic goes behind the service line, she's played some libero this year. Snyder sends it across for Eakes, and that shot is blocked. Yemi Agogar leading the Deacons with 41 blocks. She'll check out. Kendall Phillips will check in for Wake Forest. She's behind the service line, trying to rally. Deacons back in this one as they're down 4. Too hot to handle and down for Audrey Koenig, one of those players named to the preseason All-ACC team. She leads the Seminoles with 122 kills on the season. It's Filamara. Before she can serve, timeout on the floor. .16 here from Varsity Arena. Looking at the stats right now, Olivia Fish 3 kills. Paige Crawford for the Deeks also with 3 kills to go along with 5 assists. Ryan Baker already 4 digs for the Deeks to go along with 4 for Emma Farrell over on the Florida State side. 5 kills for Gary Roby and 2 for Audrey Koenig. We're getting late here in set number 1, 21-16, as Florida State was able to use an early 5-0 run. And it's a lead they've maintained as Wake Forest uses their second timeout. Now, on Friday, Wake did drop the first set to Miami before coming back and taking the next 3, hoping to repeat that here tonight. Finding a way to come back here in the first set. It's been the hot hitting though. Roby with her 5 kills. As the serve goes back and into the net. The timeout works. Wake will get the side out. And it's a 21-17 contest. Florida State hitting 222 here in the first. Wake Forest only hitting 083. Baker's serve picked up. Farrell into the Wake bench. Sent over by Carney. Snyder's shot off the hands of Farrell. Free ball sent back over to the Seminoles. This shot down for Corey Lewis. Corey Lewis, 29 blocks, but she's also very efficient on the attack. 117 kills. Good for second on the Seminole squad. Out of the back row and down. Olivia Fish. As the Deeks trying to put something together late here in the first set. They've trimmed this lead to 4. Off the hands, and it's an ace. Just what Carney was looking for. She takes it off the hands of Florida State, and we have a timeout on the floor. As the Seminoles want to talk about it. 22-19. Again, looking at the team stats right now, Wake Forest leading in the kills department 11-10. Each team with 16 digs. Got the side out advantage right now to this Florida State squad. And they lead here in set number 1 by 3. Deeks hanging around. Head coach Florida State, Chris Poole, in his 16th season, coaching the Seminoles, just signed a 3-year coaching extension to be here at Florida State. A few more years, has the second highest winning percentage of active Division I coaches with 895 career Division I victories. And I know it's not the start he wanted to see his Seminoles get off to, but talking to him, he said there's a lot of teachable moments in the non-conference schedule that he hoped would translate in to conference play. And a hard-fought victory at Virginia Tech on Friday night to put them on the right side of the win column and open conference play at 1-0. Carney looking to pull the Deacons back into this first set. Tight set, up against, blocked. Roby's shot blocked. Dior Charles on the front line. Sends it back over. And Wake now back within 2. The lead was as much as 5 for Florida State. Bump set, Snyder blocked again and out. And here comes Wake Forest, back-to-back blocks. And Carney working it from behind the line. It's a 1-point game. Audrey Koenig able to work the offense. And her shot's down in front of Emma Farrell. He'll get the side out, just 2 away from a set 1 win. Kind of feeling. Out of system for the Deeks, off the hands. It'll go as a kill for Carrie Roby. And it'll be set point for Florida State. Farrell. Serve goes long. Sent back over. Farrell, though, able to recover. Bureau Charles shot. Teams have switched sides. And we're underway in set number 2. Baker pushes it ahead. And off the hands and down for Ryan Baker. A quick lead. For the Deeks as Emma Farrell go behind the service line. Bump set into the net. Take that back into the Wake Forest block and down. Point Florida State on a big swing there. Philamara. Touched and reset. Off the Wake Forest block and down. Big swing there by Olivia Fish, but it's blocked at the net by Wake, or by Florida State rather. And now the Seminoles have taken 2 straight points. Snyder, Koenig, and down. Finding a soft spot in the Demon Deacons defense right there. As that set goes to the middle of the floor, Koenig's able to find space and connect for her 4th kill. Villamara back to zone 6. Somehow kept up. Some confusion, will be a free ball back to the Seminoles. Corey Lewis's shot off the hands of Wake. There in the middle of the net. Will go out of bounds, and another point for Florida State. Up and out, Paige Crawford, the kill. Davis Torrance will check back in. Wake Forest finds himself down here in set number 2, 4-2, but we're early as a packed house settles in. Snyder's shot kept alive. Torrance pushes ahead. Crawford into the Florida State block. Baker back to Crawford over the block, but saved. Koenig shot down. Skies for that. And hammers it home is Audrey Koenig, her 5th kill of the afternoon. Hitting .273 here so far in the early going. Side out Florida State. Back to serve the libero. Gunn sends it over. Farrell back to Baker. And down, big time hit from Emmy Ogogar. You got to get her going. And that time she's able to connect in the middle of the floor. And side out for Wake Forest. Offense in system that time. Emmy Ogogar able to connect. It's just back to 2. Tight set, Snyder's shot off the block and down. Annie Snyder, 61 kills, hitting percentage of .291. Go along with 14 digs and 19 blocks. She checks out. 6-3 here in set number 2. Phelan's serve picked up by Torrance. Baker pushes it across. And we'll have a net violation as that's whistled dead. And we'll have a timeout on the floor. Wake Forest wants to talk about it as Florida State leads this one 7-3 here in set number 2. Right now it's been the hot hitting of Carrie Roby along with Corey Lewis and Audrey Koenig. Those 3 ladies connecting on 15 of the 19 kills so far here as both these teams come in to this afternoon's action 1-0 in the ACC. Florida State taking down Virginia Tech on Friday. Well, your Demon Deacons came back after dropping the first set to Miami on Friday here, campus of Wake Forest, and then take the next 3 and win that contest 3-1. Right now, Paige Crawford leading Deacons with 5 kills. Olivia Fish with 4 kills, but the hitting percentage in the air starting to stack up for Wake Forest. Right now, only hitting 122, while Florida State hitting at 326. Randy Smart's timeout. Wrapping up in her 5th year at Wake Forest, comes in with a 57-60 record. But this young team in this hot start, finding themselves 10-2 overall, their best since 2019. Something to build off. Phelan stays behind the service line. Serve receive issues there. This shot blocked at the line. Saved by Gogar. Blocked again. Sydney Conley this time comes up with her 21st block on the season, and it's an 8-3 lead for the Seminoles. In system, big swing, but another Seminole block there in the middle of the net. That time, Audrey Koenig there to greet Damiel Gogar. Shot attempt, and the serve will stay with the Seminoles. Out of the back row. That ball kept alive. Koenig able to push it across. The slide. Damiel Gogar goes down, and finally Wake Forest gets the side out to keep the lead at 5, 9-4 here in the second set. The slide shot works for perfection, and a Gogar shot goes over. Koenig takes a little something off. And the changeup has issues on the receive side for the Deacons, and it falls to make it a 10-4 and 6-point lead for the Seminoles. Service error gives it right back to the Deacons. So look to cut into this 5-point Florida State lead. And glad to have you this afternoon. Packed house here at Varsity Arena. The ACC Network Extra. This is Ryan Baker with the service error, and the teams exchange serves. And the side out for Florida State. Roby shot picked up by Farrell. Another Florida State block. Farrell able to clean up the miss hit. Farrell again working the corners. But this time the shot falls. Roby, another kill. Excuse me, Corey Lewis. Picked up in the back row by Crawford. And it'll be a net violation on the Deacs. And the lead grows for Florida State. Now 13-5 as the Deacons looking for a little spark here. Roby serve goes out. That might be just what the Deacons are looking for on the service error by Roby. Carney's jump serve in the air, off the tape, and nearly down. Free ball. Baker. Into this Florida State block, out of the back row, off the hands and down. Audrey Koenig, another kill for her. Make it 7 on the afternoon. And it's a 14-6 lead for the Seminoles. Kraskovic serve picked up by Farrell. Across and down, the tool shot works to perfection. For Ashley Slater, just her 4th kill of the season. But it comes at a great time to make it a 7-point contest. Early deficit here for the Deacons. Trying to climb back in, set 2. Farrell sends it back. Quick serve and down. Corey Lewis on the right side. Her 5th kill. And side out for Florida State. Free ball sent over, picked up by the Seminoles. Corey Lewis again in system and down. And the lead grows 16-7 here in set number 2. Tight set, but kept alive off the floor. Farrell sends it over. Snyder's shot is long and side out for the Deacons. Torrance will check back in for Wake Forest. Right now, serve receive an issue for the Deacs. Florida State's offense clicking. Let's see if the Deacons can get something going. Shot by Snyder, off the hands of Farrell. Crawford's shot will fall. Seminoles issues from the get-go on the serve receive there, never got in system. And Chris Poole's team wants to talk about it, as the lead sits at 16-9 here in the second set. Wake Forest late rally went awry as Seminoles took set 1, 25-21. And here in set 2, Florida State able to jump out to an early lead, and right now it's a 16-9 contest. As we look at the stats, Audrey Koenig 7 kills, Roby 6 kills to go with a .556 hitting percentage. She also has 3 blocks. The Seminoles 6 blocks on the afternoon. Just 3 for just 3 for the Demon Deacons. This is a team, Wake Forest that is, wasn't expecting to have this success early in the season. With all the blocks they've been having, but between Paige Crawford, Ogogar, this team's been defensive at the net. They're going to need it. They want to crawl back into this contest. Florida State, on the other hand, top team in the ACC and second best team in the country when it comes to kills per set and assists per set. And right now they have that offense working. And after taking set 1, they find themselves up 16-9 here in the second set. Torrance's serve goes in the air to the back row. Over to Koenig, kept alive. Farrell sends it forward, over to Crawford. Snyder's shot too hot to handle, and down for Florida State. Maddie Snyder, another kill. Her second of the afternoon. Knowles Libero's shot in. Torrance overpass. And an easy kill for Koenig. The lead grows for Florida State. It's a 9-point game. Off the tape, and an ace. Everything going Florida State's way right now. As that serve barely cleared the net, and really no chance for the Deacons to cover that up. And Wake Forest needs a timeout, as it's grown to a 10-point lead. Everything clicking for Florida State. We didn't know how much energy or intensity they would bring coming off a very physical contest at Virginia Tech, one that they won in 5 sets, 3-2. But they brought the energy here in the second set. And in this packed house at Varsity Arena, the band, the crowd, not phasing this Seminoles team as they've grown the lead to 10 here in set number 2. As I mentioned, this Florida State squad, number 2 in the country, number 1 overall in kills per set at 14.7 a contest. So it's interesting when you look at this squad as a whole. They only come in ranked 14th in the ACC in blocks per set, but that's what's been working so far against Wake Forest. Right now, 6 blocks compared to just 3 for Wake Forest. So taking a page out of what's worked for the Demon Deacons this season. The physical blocks, they're using it to their advantage, as Wake Forest just cannot get anything going in the kill game. 6 blocks for the Seminoles, 27 digs, and 57 assists for Florida State. Just 3 blocks. Baker sends it across. Crawford shot. Did it touch hands? No. Side out side out Florida State. And continuing to serve as a libero. Maganola. On the slide, covered up, and another block. And another point for Florida State. Deacons just a little out of rhythm there. The system not working. As they tried to slide to Emmy. She didn't put enough mustard on it and found the block of Florida State and down. And right now, everything working for the Seminoles. Sent back to zone 5. Over to Crawford, another block, but this time the tool shot Finds the hands and goes out. And let's see if the Demon Deacons can find some late magic here, at least something to build on for set 3 as they find themselves down by 11. Crawford serve. Tight set, Snyder. It's been Florida State's season. Issues coming in was the serve receive. We haven't seen much issues so far this afternoon, but there they go out of system. Point to the Deacons. Tight serve in system that time. And Kari Roby, the Oregon transfer, connects for her 7th kill. Hitting .556 so far on the afternoon. And Florida State just 3 points away from taking set 2 and a 2-0 lead. Tool shot it good again for Ava Carney. As Ryan Baker put that one right on the money and let Carney do her thing down the left line. And off the wood. Blocked. Dior Charles reaches up and over and sends that one back. Gogar stays behind the service line. Out of system again, free ball to Wake Forest. Baker sends it over off the hands and recycled by Florida State. Koenig's shot picked up in the back row. Baker the quick set, no, that's sent back. Back over to Carney, blocked again. Carney again, this time Koenig. And down. Boy, a campfire shot there by Sydney Conley. And Florida State just 2 away as the lead's back to 10. Service error there by Audrey Koenig. All Florida State here in set number 2, 23-14. Baker's jump serve. Count it. Ashley Slater. And just her 7th set played of the season. The 6'2" senior outside hitter forces Florida State to call a timeout at 23-15. Talked about that serve receive being an issue for Florida State. It's not been an issue this afternoon. Reflected in the hitting percentage right now for Florida State. Quite a discrepancy. Florida State hitting .328. 5 aces and 30 digs. Wake Forest, though, as they look to do something here to close out set number 2, hitting just .096. Just 1 ace, 28 digs. So a lot of work to do. 13 attack errors to go with just 20 kills for the Demon Deacons. It's been all Florida State here in set number 2. They were able to build a lead in set number 1. Wake Forest had cut it to 2 late, but then Florida State scored the final 2 points to win 25-21. It's been all Florida State from the get-go. They jumped out to a 7-3 lead and have not looked back. as we find ourselves 23-15 here in set number 2. Front row for the Deacons looks like this. Slater, Carney, and Dior Charles. As Baker's behind the service line. Tight set, overpass, and put home. Dior Charles. Wake Forest trying to do something they can build off of for set number 3, down 23-16. Set across and blocked. Dior Charles again. Her 37th block on the season. And finally, a little energy out of this Deacon fan base. Roby winds up. Set point, Florida State. Baker off the hands. Out of the back row, another block. Wake Forest block starting to show itself here in set number 2. Another block for Dior Charles. Their 7th of the contest. And it's 24-18. Corey Lewis. Roby hitting .500 on the match to go along with 4 blocks. Let's see if the Deacons can climb back in this as they send it over. And the quick set and over for Draskovic. And just like that, the Seminoles jump out to the early lead here in set number 3. Good vision there by the Serbian native. Farrell to Baker. And down. Nice shot there by Dior Charles. As Wake Forest looks to ramp up the energy here in set number 3 and feed off this huge crowd that's shown up this afternoon. As Chris Poole wants to have a little talk, questioning whether maybe this ball was in or not. Or maybe questioning the touch. So hold on. As I mentioned, Chris Poole in his 16th year at Florida State. 352 wins at Florida State. Won 74% of his matches in his 37 years of coaching Division I volleyball. 902 wins against 352 losses, good for 72% of his contests. Looking ahead for Florida State, they'll go back home, take on North Carolina and then Duke. As for Wake Forest, both these teams try to improve to 2-0. Wake Forest has played a ton of games on the road. They were so glad to be back home, defeating Miami on Friday against this big crowd. After tonight's contest, they'll stay home against Clemson, Georgia Tech before heading back out on the road to take on Boston College. It's going to be an interesting ACC season. Of course, when you talk ACC volleyball, you got to talk Louisville. Pittsburgh is going to be good as well. Miami, which was ranked going into the season as the 3rd best ACC team according to the preseason coaches poll, knocked off by these Demon Deacons on Friday. So after you get past the top 2, you're seeing an ACC schedule and a conference that might look a lot different as some of the experts predicted before the season opened. So far, Florida State has come in to Deektown and taken care of business. And they've done it behind the blocks of Audrey Koenig, Gary Roby, and Corey Lewis. It's Florida State just not making the mistakes, hitting .319 on the match versus Wake Forest just hitting .107. So they talk about it, no touch, point Florida State, and they'll stay behind the service line. Farrell picks up on the back row. Crawford's shot picked up off the net, off the hands, and down for Florida State. And it's a 3-0 lead here in set number 3. Blocked again by Florida State. Blocked again by Florida State, this time into the waiting arms of Corey Lewis. She has another block, and Wake Forest, all kinds of issues getting the offense set up right now on the serve-receive line. As they're going to make some changes here and bring in Kylie Adams, seeing just action for the second time this season. She's only played one set, the 5'10 senior, as it's already a 4-0 lead for the Seminoles. Issues again, cleaned up into the Wake Forest block, but the tool shot goes off the hands of Florida State. And Wake Forest is on the board here in set number 3. Emma Farrell, short serve, sent across, Koenig. Into the Wake bench, Farrell sent it over, free ball. Snyder picks it up there, back to Snyder, into the Wake block, but can't be handled, and down. Another kill for Maddie Snyder, her third of the afternoon. Off the hands. Well, take that back, no touch. It'll sail long. Another side out for Florida State. Paige Crawford's shot goes long, and it's a 5-point lead for Florida State. Seminoles keep it alive. Shot by Koenig. Just out of the reach of Emma Farrell, and it's a 7-1 lead, and let's see if Smart call it, and she does. As the Seminoles pouring it on here early in set number 3, it's 7-1, and Randy Smart wants to talk it over with her squad as they continue to have issues getting the offense set up, just not in system right now on the serve receive. This Florida State team coming in only 14th in the ACC and 208th in the country in blocks per set, but right now they're out blocking the Demon Deacons 8-6. That to go along with the fact that their serve and their 5 service aces have really had the Deacons off balance here, and they've been able to build a 6-point lead in set number 3. You can see a very animated Randy Smart here in her 5th year at Wake Forest, employing her team. Got a rally here in set number 3. 10 kills, 13 assists, and 6 blocks. Audrey Koenig of Florida State. 8 kills, 1 block, 6 digs for Paige Crawford for Wake Forest. That ball's down for Dior Charles. As she skied into the Carolina afternoon sky, able to pull that one down for a much needed side out. Make it a 7-2 contest. Ava Torrance back behind the service line. She has 11 aces on the season. Serve goes into the net. And just like that, Florida State gets it back. Sydney Conley checking back in for the Seminoles. It's Kenna Phelan behind the service line for Florida State. Baker. The Gogar Sharks kept alive. Free ball over to the Deacons. Back to Baker. Cross court. Crawford's shot denied at the net. Baker. Gogar. Count it. Emmy Gogar with authority. Winds up the right arm and it connects on a cross-court shot. And Wake Forest will take anything they can get right now here in set number 3, down 2 sets to none in an 8-3 contest. Crawford. Tight set, free ball. Baker, back to Gogar. Thank you very much. Off the hands of Florida State and her second straight kill. As this sellout crowd starting to make a little noise, get behind their Deacons. Still down 4 here in the third set. Cross to Koenig, this time cleaned up by the Deacons. Out of the back row, but long for Paige Crawford. Side out Florida State. Koenig's flat foot serve sent to the back row. Florida State goes to work. Back to Koenig on the left side. Farrell the overpass, but the save. Torrance, Farrell send it over, free ball. Back row. Get off the Wake block and down for Gulabriskas. And Florida State grows this lead to 6 here in set number 3. Out of system again. And it's just really nothing Paige Crawford could do with that one into the net. And it's 11-4 score now as Florida State taking advantage of service receive errors on the Deacons. Blocked again and out. Ava Carney winds up, sends it into the Florida State block, and sent out of bounds. Lifted over by Sydney Conley. And instead of winding up, just the touch shot over the net. Finds some open space in the Wake defense, and she's able to connect. Another service ace for Florida State as they're starting to pull away here in set number 3 in Deektown. Roby serve taken in the back row. Baker pushes it ahead. Another block, joust at the net, off the hands of Florida State. Point Wake Forest. Wake showing some nice extension there on the joust at the net to send it off a Florida State defender. Chris Spool having some words, asking who exactly it touched. And we're going to replay the touch here as we'll go over to the table and talk about it. As it stands, 13-6 right now. Florida State hitting .351 on the afternoon, 36 kills. It's been their 8 blocks that have really kept the Demon Deacons off balance. Line score right now for Wake Forest, just 26 kills. Hitting percentage of just .087 and only 6 blocks. Wake Forest out of system most of the afternoon, never really been able to get the offense going. That coupled with Florida State's defense, they've been able to be much, much cleaner than they've shown this season on the serve-receive line. And once they get that offense lined up, this Florida State team, number 1 in the ACC, number 2 in the country in assists and kills per set in the ACC, number 2 in the country in kills per set. So if they can get it in the hands of playmakers, they convert. And it's been Roby, Koenig, and Lewis so far for Florida State this afternoon in Deektown here at Varsity Arena. Big crowd on hand. Let's see if the Deacons can get back in this, down 13-6 here in the third set. Lifted up in the air and hammered down by Sky Aches. She converts her 38th kill of the season. And the Florida State lead grows to 14-6. 25-21 and 25-18. The first 2 sets going the Seminoles' way. Serve sent to the back row. Into the block. And that's a kill. Ava Carney. Take that back into the net. And it'll stay Florida State. They'll tack on another point, 15-6. Charles off balance, able to get it over. Off the hands of Charles. Trying to set up the offense. Carney pushes it over. Florida State goes to work. Snyder's shot finds the back row and down. Just inside the end line. Maddie Snyder, we haven't called her name a lot this afternoon, but that's a big kill. And the lead's 10 for Florida State, and Wake needs to use its second timeout. 10-point lead here in set number 2. Or set number 3, rather. Looking at the coaches poll coming into this afternoon. AVCA top 25 looks like this. Wisconsin receiving 62 first place votes. Sits atop the standings with a 9-0 record. Followed by Nebraska, Florida, Stanford, and Louisville. In the ACC rounding out the top 5. Oregon, Florida State, and Pittsburgh checking in at number 8. So 2 ACC teams in the top 10. Georgia Tech finds themselves ranked 13th, and it will be Georgia Tech on the Florida State schedule, on the Wake Forest schedule coming up next week here at Varsity Arena. Wake Forest plays Clemson on the 29th, and then to open October, a match here against Georgia Tech. Wake Forest, before they look ahead, has work in front of them here if they want to claw back in to this contest. Down 10 here in set number 3. And now out of timeouts. Florida State stays behind the service line. Graskovitz serve. Can't be handled again by Wake Forest, and they have to send it over to Snyder. Her shot goes long. And a point to the Demon Deacons. Flat-footed serve sent in. Into the Wake block. Joust at the net. Florida State keeps it alive. Farrell. Back to Crawford, but it's long. Wake Forest doing a nice job at trying to keep that off the floor, but Paige Crawford's shot goes long, and it's back to a 10-point game for the Seminoles. Get a timeout on the floor, clean up some moisture. At the serve receive from Wake Forest. Not as clean as we've seen earlier this season, not as we've seen in their 10-2 start to this season. Villamara picked up. Big time swing there. Olivia Fish finally into the column there on a big strike. Able to get over the net and through the hands of the Seminoles. And it's 17-8. Emma Farrell sets up. Back to Snyder. Too hot to handle, and she has another kill. Maddie Snyder up to 4 kills. Florida State inching their way to a set and a match win here this afternoon in Wake Forest. Over to Fish. This shot off the hands and down. Olivia Fish providing a little bit of offense as we get late here in third set. Six kills for Olivia Fish now. 188 hitting percentage. As Torrance is behind the service line. Grakovic, Snyder's shot handled by Wake Forest. It'll be a free ball. Grakovic, quick set. It's down. Roby again. Carrie Roby having herself quite an afternoon. Her 9th kill. And it's back to a 10-point game for Florida State. Offense has been clicking for the Seminoles. It's been all Florida State this afternoon. Farrell sends it across. Crawford's shot blocked again by Florida State. Boy, they've been playing well at the net. And the attacks have found that block, and it's a 20-9 lead for Florida State. Shot is down. Count it. Well, into the antenna. Gore's shot hits the antenna before it hits the inline, and it's a point for Florida State. They're just 4 away from leaving Wake Forest with a 2-0 ACC record. Phelan serve. Baker over to Crawford, off the hands and down. Paige Crawford employing her teammates to stay in it. As the lead's 11 now here in set number 3. Roby again on the front line, the quick set. And she's able to connect on her 10th kill of the afternoon to lead the Florida State Seminoles. And now Florida State just 3 away from a set and a match win here in Wake Forest. As whistles blew there on the serve. Eddie Hallquist behind the service line for Florida State. Baker sends it over to Slater, but her shot is blocked again by Florida State, their 10th block of the afternoon. Florida State's throwing a block party here in Winston. Ogogar, there's offense, and it's down. Amy Ogogar able to sky up off the Baker set to make it a 23-11 contest. Off the hands and down for Florida State. Wake's block just a little late on that attack shot. It falls for another side out for Florida State. Set point, match point for the Seminoles here this afternoon. Roby's shot goes to the back row. Baker. This time Slater's shot is good. And Wake Forest stays alive. Set point number 2 coming. Match point number 2 coming for Florida State. 24-12 contest. Skyak's shot finds the floor out of the reach of Emma Farrell, and that'll do it this afternoon from Varsity Arena 25.